Which is more important to you? That you feel confident or that you appear confident? Welcome to Your Intended Message, the perfect place for leaders and promising professionals who want to convey the intended message for greater success. Every week, we interview experts who address the challenges and best practices to deliver your message effectively. That might be one-to-one, one-to-few, or one-to-many. And perhaps the most important conversation, one-to-self. I'm your host, George Torok. Hello, George Torok here with a solo show for you on confidence. How can you be more confident when it's your turn to speak? If you ever experience anxiety or the fear of public speaking, you're normal. That is a common experience, and it happens even to experienced speakers, even people like me. From time to time, I have those moments, those seconds of anxiety where you feel that inner fear, and you can manage it. So if you experience that, you're normal. Don't worry about it. Here's some ideas. You'll get some ideas today on how you can manage that and manage that confidence and project more confidence. So let's start with the first question. So which is more important to you? That you feel confident or that you appear confident? Which do you think is more important? Well, you could think about that a while, and I know some of you might say, well, George, I want both. Well, that's nice, but you don't always get to have both. Life just doesn't work that way. The key question is, which is more important? And the answer is, it's more important that you appear confident. Why? Well, there's three reasons for that. One, how you appear, that is the perspective of your audience. That's what they perceive. And the presentation is about them, not about you. So it's important that they believe you are confident so that they listen and trust what you say. The second reason why that's more important is once you realize that your presentation is more about the audience experience than your experience, you give yourself permission to have those occasional inner moments of anxiety, and the audience doesn't need to know what's going on in your head or in your body. And the third reason why it's more important that you appear confident is that when you focus more on the audience, you will take your focus away from your own symptoms, and you'll start to ignore those symptoms, and you'll direct your attention to the audience experience, and that's how you judge the success of your presentation, how the audience felt, what they got, not necessarily what you felt at times during that presentation. And why is that audience perception so important? Because they will judge your message based on how they perceive the messenger. If they believe you're confident, they have more faith in your message. And when the audience sees that you are confident, they are more likely to listen and trust you, and they're more likely to remember and act on your audience. They're still judging you. The difference is now they're decided that you are confident and they're not judging you. They're now listening to the message and judging the value of the message that you are delivering. First, they have to accept the messenger before they can accept the message. And when you appear outwardly nervous, they will tend to focus on your weakness and discount the message. They might be thinking, if this speaker is so nervous about speaking on this topic, there must be some flaws in the message. Maybe they're lying. Maybe they're hiding. But once they feel good about the messenger, they will take the time to listen to the message. And how does that audience, how do they judge your confidence? Well, based on what they think and feel, and that is determined by what they see and hear. They hear your words and your voice. They see your body language. How can you take more control of what they see and hear? Well, take this three-prong approach with your mind, body, and soul to both feel and appear more confident. So let's start with the mind, the first piece in this puzzle. The mind, you start with your mindset. Think about what's your purpose for speaking. Clarify your purpose by asking yourself this three-part question. As a result of this presentation, what do you want people to think, feel, or do? The reason you're speaking is to move people. And where do you want to move them? It's not about delivering a perfect presentation. It's not about covering all the material. It's about moving people. Where and how do you want to move them? Clarify that goal, and then once you clarify that goal, that's how you judge your success. Know your message. Be clear on the message that you want to deliver. Prepare your presentation and know and rehearse it so you know it. Don't memorize it, and certainly don't read it, because if you have to read your message, it looks like you don't know it. I saw speakers promoting their own business at an event, and they had 2 minutes to promote their own business, and at least 2 of the speakers read their 2-minute self-promotional message. They couldn't even learn that. Not a lot of confidence, faith in them and their service. They couldn't even talk about their service without reading it. Don't read it, know it, and then deliver it. Next, also within the mind, know your audience. Who is this audience? What's important to them? Why are they here? Why are they even listening? And what will they gain from it? What's their perspective? What might be some of their objections or experience with the topic that you're talking about? Know that so you can address it. And accept responsibility for your thoughts and self-talk. You can have negative self-talk or positive self-talk. The choice is yours. You control that. So create more positive self-talk for yourself to say, this is going to be great. You got it. You're in there. Let's look at the body concept of confidence. Remember, the audience isn't always listening to you. They tune out occasionally for different reasons. But they're always watching you. Be aware of what you might be doing when you're at the front of the room. Avoid those nervous tics. Be careful of what you're doing that might distract from your message. So first start with the posture. If you're ideally you're standing, stand as tall as you can and as proud as you can. Shoulders back, head up. Hold your head up straight. Don't slouch, because that looks lazy and unconfident. Don't stand stiff and one simply not moving like a soldier standing at attention. No, release the tension from your body. Look comfortable. Look like you belong, that you own your space, so that people will see, the speaker looks comfortable and confident with what they're doing. When you gesture at the front of the room, depending on the size of the room, use slow gestures, and the bigger the room, the bigger your gestures can be, the way you move your hands to reinforce a point. And it should look natural. Rehearse those gestures. Speak and practice in your office or at home, and rehearse how you will move when you move, and move slowly in front of the audience. Also on the body, remember to breathe. And I know this sounds silly. People say, George, I've been breathing all my life. Well, guess what? When we get in front of the room, when we're nervous, you know what we do? The first response before fight or flight, the first response is to freeze. And sometimes we freeze and hold our breath. Why? Because the anxiety, that's our natural response. So remind yourself to breathe when you are at front of the room. In fact, before you get up on stage, before it's your turn to speak, take a moment and take a couple slow, deep breaths. Breathe all the way down from behind your tummy. Feel the diaphragm, because the diaphragm goes all the way down behind your tummy, and breathe in deeply. And what you do is, if you're doing it right, you're pushing your tummy out. You're making yourself fat around the middle. Hold it for a second or two, and then slowly breathe out over the next 2 or 3 seconds. That's how you should breathe, to fill the diaphragm with oxygen, because your brain needs the oxygen. And sometimes you've had that funny feeling when you're standing in front of the room, maybe you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain. Remember to breathe. Also on the body, another technique, a simple technique, is to remember to smile. And you don't have to be grinning like a silly fool. However, smile to look confident. When you smile, you appear confident. Also, when you smile, you are more attractive. Now, you don't need to be smiling all the way through, but smile when you start. Smile when you see someone you know in the audience. Smile when you say something important, like your name or your product name or a key benefit. When you smile, you are more attractive. When you are more attractive, we tend to look at you more. And if we look at you, we listen better. If you want people to listen to more, then smile more often during your presentation. So there are some ideas on how you can get your body on side. Let's take a look at the last piece in this puzzle, and that's the soul. How do you get your soul on side? Well, first of all, believe in yourself and your ability. Believe in what you do know, that you know what you know and your ability to speak. And you will believe in yourself naturally if you have prepared. Have you prepared your material, your delivery, and you are ready to go? Also believe in the value of your message. People don't listen to you to do you a favor. They listen because they believe there's something of value that you have to give to them in your message. So believe in the value of your message. If you don't believe in it, then shut up. Go away. But if you're speaking, believe in what you say. Your message has value. Also, part of the soul, realize that you can't please everyone. Here's a rule of thumb to keep in mind. No, these numbers are not scientific, but just keep it in mind. It's the 10-10-80 rule. And that says that about 10% of the audience love you. You can do no wrong. All you have to do is walk up and you could make a fool of yourself and they would still love you. The next 10%, they hate you. They can't stand you. Maybe it's your name, the way you look. They just don't like you. So that first 10 and that second 10, there's nothing you can do how they think of you. So forget about them. Don't focus on them. That other 80% could be moved. That's who you focus on. Don't try to win the people who hate you. Don't play to the people who love you. Although the ones who love you, you use them to your advantage, but focus on that 80% that you will deliver your message to, because those are the ones that you can move with your message. What else can you do for your soul? Well, here, get into the room. Ideally, get into the room before the presentation and spend some time where you will be standing. If it's at the front of a table or if it's on a stage at the front of a room, and just stand there and say to yourself, this is my room. This is my room. And those people will be guests in my room. And it's just a way of centering yourself. And it's kind of like a Zen feeling, but own the room, own the space. So there are 3 ways to approach how you can both feel and appear more confident when it's your turn to speak. Address the body, mind, and soul. I trust that this was helpful for you. The next time you're speaking, think about how you can appear and be more confident. I'm George Torok of Your Intended Message. If you like what you heard, remember to like, comment, and share this podcast. Come back every week for more practical insights to help you deliver your intended message. I'm your host, George Torok.